Hey everyone, I know you all love to learn, and you love to learn efficiently.
Absolutely.
So today we are diving deep into the life and impact of Srimanta Shankardev,
Oh, yeah. Fascinating figure.
a really key figure from 15th, 16th century Assam.
Yeah.
We have got excerpts detailing his life,
Mhm.
his philosophy, his cultural contributions,
Yeah.
and we really want to uncover the most important aspects of his legacy and see why it's so enduring, why it still matters.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting is just how one person can spark such widespread change.
Right?
And Shankardev is really a great example of that.
Yeah.
Born in 1449 into a Brahmin family.
Okay.
Right away, you can see he was really intelligent, like right from the start.
Yeah.
Had this really deep spiritual inclination. And it's interesting because his pilgrimage across India, visiting all these Vaishnavite centers like Vrindavan and Puri,
Right.
really shaped his core beliefs.
Okay, so this pilgrimage, it wasn't just a journey.
Right.
It was a foundation.
Absolutely not.
It set the stage for his central philosophy.
Yes.
Ekasarana Dharma.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so, Ekasarana Dharma is all about Bhakti devotion to Krishna specifically.
Okay.
But what's really amazing about Shankardev is he rejects these really complex rituals and the rigid caste system.
Right, which was so prevalent at the time.
Oh, totally, yeah. And he really believes in a direct path to the divine
Right.
for everyone. And he does that through these practices like Kirtan.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the singing.
Yeah, the devotional singing, the Satriya dance,
Okay.
and then prayer in these community spaces called Naamghars.
Gotcha. So these Naamghars and the satras that he established weren't just places of worship.
No. They were much more than that.
Right.
These satras, these monastic centers.
Mm.
And the Naamghars became the heart of religious and cultural life
Wow.
in Assam.
Yeah.
And not just prayer halls,
Right.
but really vital hubs for preserving their literature, their music, the performing arts, a real sense of community.
Right. And Shankardev himself was a prolific creator.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So many different artistic contributions.
And he really wanted to make these profound ideas accessible.
Right.
And he does that through his art.
Mm-hmm.
He writes these literary works like Kirtan Ghosha
Okay.
and Gunamala,
Mm-hmm.
and these simplify the really complex religious narratives from these scriptures like the Bhagavata Purana.
Wow. Okay.
And then he creates this unique form of one-act plays
Okay.
called Ankiya Nat and Rukmini Haran.
Okay.
That's a really celebrated example of Ankiya Nat. It really blends drama, music, and dance.
Wow. And of course, we can't forget Satriya.
Yes, the classical dance form.
Resas.
Yeah, that comes from his satras.
It's amazing how these different elements are so interconnected.
That's
The
right.
philosophy, the institutions, the art.
Yeah.
And it seems to be driven by a powerful commitment to social reform.
Absolutely.
Right.
His opposition to social hierarchies was a cornerstone of his teachings. He really believed that devotion was open to everyone,
Yeah.
no matter your caste or your standing.
Right. And that really had a unifying effect.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But it wasn't always easy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
There were challenges,
oh, of course.
pushing against these established norms.
All right, you're going to get some resistance.
He faced opposition.
Yeah, from Orthodox Brahmins.
Yeah.
Even some political figures.
Wow.
But what's amazing is the dedication of his disciples,
Yeah.
especially Madhavdev.
Okay.
He was so instrumental in continuing his work.
Wow. So as we look back at his life,
Yeah.
what are those takeaways?
Well, his legacy is really multifaceted.
Yeah.
He was a saint, philosopher, poet, playwright, and a social reformer.
Wow.
But, his biggest contribution really lies in how he provided a framework for this inclusive devotion
Right.
and really shaped Assamese culture
Yeah.
through Ekasarana Dharma, the satras, the Naamghars, his literary works, and, of course, Satriya dance.
As you're listening to this, think about how one individual's spiritual and artistic vision could transform the cultural and spiritual identity of a whole region
Yeah.
for centuries.
It's really incredible.
And what aspects of his methods do you think might offer valuable insights for us today?
Yeah, great questions.
All right, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Hope you learned something.
Always learning.
See ya.
See ya.